All right, today we're diving into a pretty radical way of thinking about health and healing. It's a perspective that goes way beyond just treating symptoms and asks us to look at the very source of illness itself.
So let me just start with a question that honestly sounds impossible. What if a disease that modern medicine calls a life sentence, something like ALS, could be turned around in just 7 days? I know, it sounds like something out of a movie, but this is a real story, and it's what kicks off this whole exploration.
So the story goes like this. An author who knows his stuff about both modern and traditional medicine meets a Tibetan high monk. This monk apparently heals an ALS patient in 1 week. 1 week! And when asked how he did it, his explanation was just bafflingly simple. He said, "I just eliminated the inflammation." And he claimed this same idea applied to cancer. And that one sentence just completely shattered everything the author thought he knew. That one encounter sent the author on a massive search for answers. And you know where he found his big aha moment? Not in some complex medical textbook, but in simple geometry, the relationship between an object and the shadow it casts. And this, right here, is where it all starts to click. Think about it this way. So much of our modern medicine focuses on the things we can see and measure, right? The tumor on the scan, the inflamed joint, the organ that's not working right. These are the symptoms. But in this new model, all of those things, they're just the shadows on the wall.
And here's the brilliant conclusion to that thought. Instead of running around trying to paint the shadow or cut it out, what if we could just adjust the object that's casting it? Or even better, what if we could change the source of the light itself? Because you know what happens then? The shadow changes instantly. Or maybe it just vanishes altogether.
This slide just lays it out so clearly. On the left, fixing the shadow. That's our conventional toolkit. The surgery, the drugs, it's all about repairing the physical hardware. And look, it's absolutely crucial for emergencies, but sometimes it can feel like a temporary fix, right? On the right, though, changing the source. That's about addressing the underlying pattern, the energy, the information, the light that created the problem to begin with.
Okay, so what is this source of light that's casting the shadow of our physical body? Well, the source material argues that it's a concept that's been around for thousands of years, but it has a surprisingly modern spin. It's called qi. Now, when we hear the word qi, a lot of us might think of something kind of mystical or vague. But let's get specific here. Think of qi as life's operating system. It's the underlying field of pure information and energy that organizes a bunch of random matter into you, a living, breathing, thinking person. It's the invisible director behind the scenes. This construction analogy makes it so easy to understand. Your DNA, that's the blueprint. It has all the plans. The actual building, your cells, your heart, your lungs, that's the physical structure. So what's qi? It's the construction crew. It's the dynamic, intelligent energy that actually reads the blueprint and organizes all the materials to build the house. So if there's a crack in the wall, do you just keep patching the wall? Or do you go talk to the construction crew? Okay, so if real, deep healing means we need to influence our qi, our construction crew, how in the world do we actually do that? Well, this is the practical part. The source material lays out a really clear framework, a 5-level path that takes us from the most physical stuff all the way to the most fundamental. And here they are, the 5 paths. We're moving from the outside in, you could say. We can change the flow of our qi, its quality, and even its very form. And if we go deeper, we can change the intention that directs it. And at the deepest level, we can learn to align with the Tao, the natural, self-organizing intelligence of the universe. Let's just quickly touch on each one. So, path number 1 is changing the flow. This one's pretty intuitive. Think of your body's energy like a network of rivers. If you get a dam or a log jam, problems start to build up. Things like acupuncture, massage, even just deep conscious breathing, they're all like clearing out the blockages and letting that life energy flow freely again. Next up, we can change the quality of the energy itself. Think about it. Is your energy agitated and hot, like when you're angry? Or is it calm and cool and harmonious, like when you feel at peace? Things like the food we eat, herbal remedies, and working through our emotions can literally change the energetic quality of our system from chaotic to coherent. Path 3, change the form. Now this is interesting. Qi isn't just some formless cloud. It has structure, a geometric shape. If your physical posture is all twisted, you're literally distorting your own energetic field.
By correcting your physical body, or even by using things like specific sound frequencies, we can reshape this underlying energy matrix, which then allows our physical body to come back into alignment.
Now we're getting to the really deep levels. This is where we become the programmer. There's an ancient principle that says, qi follows intent. What does that mean? It means our consciousness, our beliefs, our thoughts, are the commands that tell our energy what to do. So by changing our core beliefs, we can literally start to rewrite the source code of our own biology. It's incredible.
And finally, we have the fifth and highest path, aligning with the Tao. This isn't about doing anything to our qi. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about getting our own ego and our need to control everything out of the way. It's about surrendering to the natural, self-healing wisdom that's already there. At this level, healing isn't an act of force. It's an act of profound trust. So when you follow these 5 paths, you start to see this huge shift in perspective. You stop being a mechanic who's always under the hood trying to fix a broken machine, and you become more like a gardener, someone who just cultivates the right conditions for life to flourish all on its own.
And this model doesn't throw anything away. It just integrates everything into a much bigger map, which you can see right here. It shows 7 levels where we can intervene. It starts at the top with hardware. That's our physical body, the realm of surgery, and drugs. But then it expands all the way down through our energy fields, our consciousness, our beliefs, and even into deeper patterns, all the way down to the ultimate source of being itself. They are all valid paths.
So what's the ultimate point of all of this? What's the goal? It's not just about becoming a better soldier in the war on disease.
It's this. The goal is to make the disease no longer have a reason to exist. It completely flips the script. We stop asking, how do we fix the shadow? And we start asking, how do we become so filled with light that no shadow can form in the first place? Now that is a radical thought, and one that could really change everything. Thanks for watching.